is up, everybody? It is another episode number 62 of Monday Hauls Live. Can you believe that? 62 weeks of unboxings and hauls and slab unboxings and just all kinds of fun new books that we've picked up. As you know, Monday Hauls Live is my weekly web series where MT and I will go through the latest books that we've picked up over the past week to week and a half, and we'll show those off to you. We'll give you a little bit of our rationale and why we decided to pick those books up. Just lots of cool little tidbits that you can pick up, especially when MT's on screen and sharing. We've also recently added a new segment to Monday Hauls Live that is MT's Hall of Shipping Shame. And I don't know if it's a good thing for the show, but I always feel bad for MT that every week he has some new horror story about books that have been shipped in a less than stellar fashion. So we're going to get to that towards the end of the episode tonight, but right now I want to do just a couple quick reminders for everybody and let you know what we've got going on. If you've been watching for any period of time, you know that we have 3 shows a week. Monday Hauls Live, which you're watching right now, is the past week to week and a half's worth of comic book pickups. That happens Mondays at 10 p.m. Central. It's a live stream show with myself and MT and others. The giveaway show happens on Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. Central. Also, it's another live stream show. Generally, that's myself and Paul, Mr. Professional Comics himself, taking the reins on that one. But this week, he is going to be flying with his co-host, Mr. Jackal, also known as Edwin Price, and some others I'm sure will be dropping in. Many of your favorite cast of characters from the Carl's Collects Comics universe. On Fridays, I try to upload new videos that have a little bit of an educational component to them, a little bit more opinionated picks, scripted content. Those are my Friday features. Those happen Fridays at 10 p.m. Central. Those are not live streams, even though the way it appears on the channel, they will look like live stream shows. But those are generally going to be things like the top 10 lists, creator interviews, local comic shop spotlights, and other different types of videos. One of those types of videos, like a traditional how-to, is how to a 4-part video series that's for new comic collectors called Comic Collecting for Beginners, or How to Start Collecting Comic Books. I dropped.
Did we lose you? Looks like Carlos froze. Carlos collects for beginners is how you collect comics if you're a beginner. Anyways, I guess I'll... okay, he's back. We lost you there for a minute.
Uh-oh. Did y'all?
Yeah, you started in on comic collecting for beginners, and then we lost you.
Okay. We'll be doing the follow-up for that, and I see my Wi-Fi signal is still low here. Haven't hard run signal yet. Haven't ran some wires yet. Okay. So Comic Collecting for Beginners, I'm going to be releasing the follow-up to that coming up here probably in November. It's going to be how to properly ship comics. It'll address a lot of the woes that have been thrust upon MT as he goes through his weekly shipments from eBay. Here he's getting bulk shipping rates now because they're sending the shipments to him by the container load. Mm-hmm. Well, this is Monday Hauls Live, and we are glad that you're here with us. We're excited that you have chosen to give a little bit of your time on Monday. So we're going to go ahead and get things started here. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me. It's Carl's Collects Comics. And then right next to me, trusty partner in crime is Mr. MT. Let's see who we got in the chat. I know we just got a few viewers tonight, but I know more will be joining us as we progress. What's up, Amazing Spider Flint? Good to see you tonight. Glad that you're here. NextCon Comics, good to see you as well. Glad that you're here.
NextCon.
You what?
So my good buddy Nexon.
Oh, cool. Okay. NextCon, welcome. So hey, so for those who are watching right now, and for all those who will be watching later on the rewind, we're glad that you're here. Every time, every single viewer means the world to us that you would come and hang out with us and listen to what we've got to say about comic books currently right now. A quick note, I do want to make another quick announcement. On October the 26th, that's a Wednesday night. On October the 26th, we are going to be celebrating 1,000 subscribers on this channel. Now, we're already over 1,000 subscribers, but we are going to be doing a lot of different giveaways. What's up, El Green? Glad that you made it, man. Good to see you. So on October the 26th, it's not just going to be comic books. I'm going to be giving away a GameStop gift card. I'm going to be giving away My Light 2s in a gold/silver size from E. Gerber, a 50-pack, brand new, unopened, again, given away for free. Also going to probably be giving away at least one more pressing and cleaning coupon for one of our trusted pressing partners. And then, and then, of course, comic books. And most of you will get to choose. The announcement video for that's going to be dropping, I think, next week. And then that'll get us all the people that can pre-register to enter to win. There's going to be people, okay, I'm going to look at that in a second, Michael's Comics. We'll be doing that giveaway. You will enter to win on that video. And you'll automatically be entered to win for a bunch of the prizes, but then there will be prizes given away for just the chat for that live stream on October the 26th. It'll be a big party. We'll be celebrating 1,000. We're already past it and moving on, but I'm very excited about how the channel's grown and this community that we've built here. So thank y'all so much for being here tonight, and we're going to get started in just a second. Michael's Comics on the Green Lantern Top 10, you did one, should have been in there, was issue 141. Okay, good note. I'm going to write that down, and I will see you in the comments for that video so we can bring it. I'm going to be sharing that video out a little bit more because I don't think a lot of people have found it. So, all right. So, MT, did you want to go first, or do you want me to show off some?
No, that's totally up to you. Whatever you want to do.
Cool. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'll show off first. I'll show off some of the new books that I picked up over the past couple of weeks. This is not all of them. I still do have a couple of books that I've got to pick up. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So the Black Adam, I'm cautiously optimistic about Black Adam. I don't know, MT, what do you, I think, have you shared yet what you think about Black Adam?
I actually kind of do like The Rock. I know he's not everybody's cup of tea. I kind of do like The Rock. I saw how passionate he was about the character, but when I hear major reshoots after the first screening, boy, that is not a good. That's usually not a good indicator that we're going to have a good movie here. That usually means that there's going to be editing problems in the story. They didn't figure out how to end the movie correctly or whatever it may be. Not too many movies that go into reshoots do well, but we're cautiously optimistic. Certainly has the star power. I think a good enough story is being told. Starting in ancient Egypt and moving forward, as long as we are more story-oriented than messaging-oriented. But we'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic. What do you think, Carlos?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like anytime I'll say this: reshoots within the past few years, because these movies have just gotten so expensive, reshoots have become normal. But only up to like only into the 2 to 4 week range. Anything beyond 2 to 4 weeks, yes, that's more extensive reshoots, and that is definitely, like you, I also start to get nervous. I don't remember exactly how many weeks worth of reshoots.
8 weeks.
How many?
8 weeks is what I heard, which probably means it's 10.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. Especially, and that's the thing is, like, you never know. Okay, like there's been ones that have turned out really well, like Rogue One. I thought, because that had extensive reshoots. They completely reworked the entire ending of the film. That turned out really well, I thought. But
okay,
but
yeah.
then for every Rogue One, you have a Doctor Strange 2, or you have a Justice League was, I don't even know what to classify that as, because it was
that's kind of a different animal. I agree with you on that. That's a different animal, Justice League. But Batman v Superman had massive reshoots again. I think of the biggest massive reshoot was New Mutants, and it took them years to fixing that. And really, I don't think that is as bad as it was made out to be. But God, that had so much potential wasted. Especially that actress that played
Magic.
Man, she is a talent.
Yeah.
And you had Macy Williams in that, and
there was that was Dane DeHaan was in that as well. You know, and that was to me that was the biggest tragedy about New Mutants, was that they had by all accounts they should have had a stellar cast. It was the same thing as Fan Four Stick. The fantastic, because that's how the logo looked so people called it
the last iteration.
That
Reed was evil.
That was an Oscar caliber cast, and they blew it with that, and it's like,
I know a lot of people didn't like that Fantastic Four movie. I actually didn't think it was all that bad. Was it great? No, but it really wasn't that bad. The ending
was it what it could have been.
Sure.
That's what I look at. When you have that kind of a budget for that, and we're drifting. The whole reason was because I have a Black Adam book here, but
circle back to Black Adam, right?
I think it's like it's when you have budget for that level of casting, like Michael B. Jordan. What is the young lady's name? She was on House of Cards, and she was Susan Storm.
I don't remember. I can look it up here.
I don't remember her name right offhand. Her, Miles Teller, they were all. It's Fantastic Four. It was the most recent reboot. There was a joke going around that because of the way they put the 4 inside of the name, that it was pronounced Fan Four Stick. But it was just called Fantastic Four was the title, but it was the 2016 or 15 one, and it was not great. They had massive reshoots on that one as well, and and again you could tell.
Jessica Alba. No, that was one beforehand.
No, that was one before. This was Kate. What is her name?
Laurie Holden.
No, that wasn't her.
Was the 2005 movie, right? No,
2015. It was who?
Kate Mara was Susan.
That's it. Kate Mara. Yeah, she's very talented. She's a beast of an actress. So the whole reason I brought it up about the movie and just kind of throwing our thoughts out there about it. But if again, of course, we're going to go see it, or at least I'm going to go see it, and I'm going to go see what it looks like and how it is. But this book, I saw this, and I think to me, this is probably one of the best photo covers I've ever seen. And I'm pretty sure it's a photo cover. I don't think it's not painted, but it just has such a cool quality to it that as soon as I saw it, I said, you know what? If Pierce Brosnan ever hits the autograph circuit, this book would be like the most perfect book to have him sign. Like I just everything about the colors, like the two tones, like the two, the ghosting of the second image, him looking forward. I mean, he just looks so distinguished. And I'll tell you, his wardrobe design for the film is stellar. And I'm not just talking about the CGI costume, which looks amazing, but just like every outfit he's in that, of all the footage and stills that I've seen for the movie, he just looks incredible. Like he looks the part. He looks like he was born to play Dr. Fate, which is so bizarre.
I agree with that. Cast, very well cast.
Well, I mean, I think it says a lot to the muscle behind the movie that you could get somebody like him, because he's definitely an elder statesman actor. When you look at it, he's played James Bond. He had his own TV show, just kind of like a younger James Bond, maybe. I mean, he's done a lot of films, and so just so anyway, so I saw this. I said, I grabbed a nice minty copy, and and you can probably still find it on your LCS store shelves or on eBay, because it's not like it's blowing up or anything in value. But I'm just thinking, I've started thinking ahead that when I see photo variants, I always think, okay, you know what? For $3 or $4, I'll go ahead and take a flyer that I might be able to get that actor to sign it. Because to me, the only type of comic I'll have an actor sign is one like a photo cover with them portraying the character on the cover. I generally don't get like non-photo cover keys signed by actors, because over time, like, the character is going to be timeless, but the actor will get replaced over time. So I thought this was just a fantastic pickup. This was more. So it was a cover price of $6.99, and then I think I got like a 10 or 15% discount on it. So I got it under cover price. It's a little bit pricier book, but I thought it was worth picking up. And I didn't have any books in my pull box for the past 2 weeks because Paul keeps sneaking in ahead of me and taking them all.
He's like,
I know he likes to do that. He thinks it's funny. But yeah, so I picked that one up. Then I, weirdly enough, these are all almost like cover buys this week. I had a facsimile, a really cool facsimile that I had just lost track of and didn't realize it was coming out. I have the original, but it's slab. So Tomb of Dracula #1 dropped this week, the facsimile, cover price of $3.99. Of course, you can tell the difference because the mask is there, and then they did drop a barcode on the front, so that's kind of nice, to keep it separate from from the original.
Even
you have the original right by there?
I'm trying to sell it as such.
So yeah, so this is another one of my pickups. The other facsimile this week, I love that DC's been doing these. Superman #1, they released the facsimile for this. I think last week it was Action Comics 1, and this is Superman 1, and then I think I grabbed the Detective Comics 1. And I think the only one I didn't get, if they've released it already, was Batman #1, the facsimile. But these make for nice, just nice little books to have, and also I'll use them for giveaways sometimes. So I picked that one up. That one also had, I think, a higher cover price than normal. It is this month is also Hispanic Heritage Month, or so I'm told. I didn't have some kind of inner censor tell me this. It just I was told this. So DC Comics had released some preliminary artwork featuring some of these characters, and the primary thing for each of them was food items. I think some of them had like magical tacos flying around them, and at one point there was and I don't know if this was all a joke or what, but I saw work done, or artwork of some of these characters for the Hispanic Heritage Month that featured different foods, and I just thought that was like the worst idea ever, because to me, holding, Kyle Rayner holding a bag of tamales, I was like, I don't know. Why don't you do something else with that picture, maybe? So I thought what they ended up going with was much more tasteful. It was much more fun, and the Kyle Rayner one, I did not get a copy of it. I'm still trying to find a copy. I don't even know what book it was, but it was actually an homage to a famous Hispanic painting that the artist knew very well, and so he did like an homage to it. But then there was different stuff going on with the tamales and all that. So, but I found two of them that I really liked and decided to pick up. So I think Renee Montoya questions a cool character. This is I Am Batman #13, and this is the variant cover by George Gentil, and this is of course the Renee Montoya question. featuring the cover, and they all have this little design here, which is pretty nice. Hispanic Heritage Month. And so I just thought this was a nice cover buy, not necessarily for signature or anything, but just, just to have. And then the other one that I picked up, because I am a huge fan of Blue Beetle, the upcoming Blue Beetle. So Young Justice Targets #3 had a Blue Beetle variant for Hispanic Heritage Month by Adrian Gutierrez and Will Quintana. And so I went ahead and picked that one up because, of course, Blue Beetle. And I've started trying to grab other appearances and cool covers of his that are outside of his title as well. I'm super excited about what they're going to be doing with that film. So that being said, those are my new comic book pickups for the day. I've got 3 vintage comics that I'm going to show off. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen some of them, but I'm looking forward to showing them off and sharing why I decided to go ahead and pick those up. So at this time, though, I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to MT. MT, what do you got to show us?
Okay. I'm interested to hear what you guys thought about the Werewolf by Night show. Did you watch it? Did you like it? I liked Elsa Bloodstone kind of going into this, and really I didn't read that much about her until Secret War when we had God Emperor Doom, when they were doing the reset of the Marvel Universe, and she had a storyline that kind of like recapped her whole origin story and stuff like that. She was fighting the zombies, I think, perhaps. But anyways, I kind of liked her as a character. I liked the actress that played her in the movie. I mean, the coolest thing for me by far was seeing the monsters. Okay, we had monsters in the drawings in the beginning. We had monsters mounted on the wall, and we're going to get into that here. I'm going to show you some books, and we're gonna see if I have picked out the monsters that I believe appeared in that show. I got 5 Marvel Walmart packs today. Oh, did you? They stopped carrying the Marvel packs at my Walmart, and I'm super disappointed. There was a period last year where they were selling 10 packs. The 10 packs had like 1 in 200 ratio variants. It's like they were emptying out all the ratio variants they didn't sell. And I picked up some seriously good books. And in fact, everybody was like driving 2 hours to go to a Walmart to find those things. Now I have to have Michael Pressis mail them to me because I can't get. Hey, Bry Guy, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, thanks, Tulp. I appreciate that. Yeah, they just don't carry it. They were carrying the DC books right up until recently, and now they renovated the store, and like that whole department's gone. So like they still have the Pokemon cards and stuff, but unfortunately, I kind of wanted to start. Well, I'm going to circle back to Werewolf by Night, but I still you guys fill out your comments, tell me what you thought about the show, and we'll kind of circle back around to that. I will say that I got finally, and I didn't think it was ever going to come, is the new Thor. I've got a Thor subscription.
Oh, nice.
I get my Thor books weeks after they come out in the LCSs. I kind of flipped through this real quickly. It looked like we have a new character reveal at the end, perhaps. This looks like some cross between a Red Goblin and Bug from the Micronauts. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this, but there's an ad for Gold Goblin. The honeymoon about Donny Cates is over with me. I'm not on the bandwagon with Donny Cates anymore. I'll take Jason Aaron over Donny Cates any day. But it looks like we've got Venom involved in this one, of course, because he was on the cover. But interested to read this one. Looks like Mosquito's in this. Scorpion, maybe? I don't know. Interested. Anybody else reading Thor? Let me know your thoughts. It has been difficult to get interested in anything they're printing right now. If you guys have a Marvel title you think is worth reading right now, I would be very interested to hear what that might be. I think the writing has been questionable. I'd love to pick up a new title and get into reading it again. So if anybody's got suggestions, open to hear that. Okay. I got one of these as far as we're talking facsimiles. So I got one of these Morbius with the old Batman Robin pimp slap, backhand pimp slap, whatever it is. Some other obscure stuff that I picked up when I was at the LCS last. Where did I hide those? I forgot I was going to talk about. Okay, this did come in yesterday. We talked about this last week. I can't remember if I showed this one or not. This is a Neil Adams cover from Atlas. We kind of went deep into Atlas last time, so I'm not going to do that again today. But Planet of Vampires is, extremely campy title. I think about like Ice Pirates? That campy movie from the 80s. That's what it reminds me of, honestly. I will say that I've had this one for a while. I just found it in the long boxes where they relaunched Monsters Unleashed. So this was a lenticular that actually works here, it looks like. So after I found this, I picked up some other Monsters Unleashed. They were variant covers at the LCS. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but it seemed like an interesting thing to at least give it a shot. Elsa Bloodstone was supposed to be in the series, so I have. I can't remember if I shared this or not. I'm a big fan of Captain Savage and his Leatherneck Raiders because it was a comic I got from my dad. It was kind of a short-lived series. I think the standout character in that series was Jay Little Bear. He was a Cherokee pro wrestler. And so he turned into, after Captain Savage, they went into Combat Kelly's Deadly Dozen, kind of playing off of the Deadly Dozen, the Dirty Dozen movie. They're stopping the Luftwaffe, but there is Jay Little Bear in the background there. He like grabbed a guy by hair, like threw him around his head. He was a great character. Loved him. I think I finally found my other box full of monster books. I've been kind of going through to pull out all my extra copies and stuff like that for the shows. But I don't know if I showed this last time or not. It's been really difficult to find these. The Living Mummy.
Yeah.
So when we talk about monsters in the Marvel Universe, you've got the big ones are Frankenstein, Werewolf by Night, Morbius, Dracula. Did I say Frankenstein? I think I said Frankenstein. Man-Wolf would kind of play into that in the Living Mummy. And this kind of plays off of, the big-time movie monsters. Of the which would be the 60s and 70s. They had like a big resurgence in movie monsters that started way back in the 40s. So there's your Mummy, your Frankenstein, your Dracula, and your werewolf character, right? And I found this one digging around for books, Halloween type books. I don't remember this series at all. The Punisher and the Night Stalkers.
Wait, is that what issue number is that?
Number 5. So I don't know if this was.
No, that was the regular Night Stalkers, but Punisher was guest starring on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the Night Stalkers title, the main title.
So in the Night Stalkers headshots here, it looks like you've got Blade, a Morbius character, and I don't know who the mullet guy is there.
Let me see. Wait, let me see. Show him again.
I'll take it out of the bag so you can see it.
Yeah.
Red hair mullet guy.
This is Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze, as in
Yeah,
the
because during the '90s he wasn't for a while there during the
Johnny
'90s.
or Danny Ketch was Ghost Rider.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And Johnny was just calling himself like Blaze, and he had the long '90s hairstyle and like a leather suit and stuff. But and like I think he had like a Hellfire shotgun.
Because I say he's dressed like he's from the 19th century.
Oh.
Interesting.
Huh.
At any rate, just thought it was a cool, obscure book that I don't ever remember that title. So interesting to find that out. Plastic cover book. I get that Spider-Man video book for $5 right now. Spider-Man video books. I don't know what that means. At any rate, I'm going to try and save some of my big Curtis Monster magazine type books for closer to Halloween here. But let's go back into some of the creatures that are in this show. Let's see if I can find out which ones are on the wall. Oh, yeah. Well, anyways, Tomb of Dracula. Ghost Rider is another one that fits into the monster type universe. Is the Orb, which played heavy in the original Sin storyline with the Watcher. If anybody remembers that, when Thor became unworthy. Just a great character design. I mean, he's a big eyeball. I mean, how cool is that? We talked about Dr. Sun, the bloodless brain hooked up to a computer. Okay, before I get into the monsters from the show, I kind of wanted to talk about a great series you could probably pick up pretty cheap that really does a great job of explaining why Man-Thing is a Nexus character, why Morbius is considered to be operating in the Nexus realm. And there was just some phenomenal covers for this series, and that was Marvel Zombies #4. And
is that the hood?
Yes, and they homaged so many great epic covers in Marvel Zombies, right? There's a Dormammu, and that's obviously supposed to be the Monsters Unleashed homage. But Son of Satan's another one that plays in there. But like, this is the third series. I should have pulled out more of these, and maybe I'll do that closer to Halloween, because these are movie posters. And issue #1 of Marvel Zombies 3 is the first appearance of Headpool, which is the zombie head of Deadpool. Which he's super popular, was in a ton of comic books, right? But at any rate, there was like this blood rain thing. But anyways, the Marvel Zombies were a different universe, and they end up crossing over into other universes to take them over and to eat everything that's in those, right? And they had a character called Zombie perhaps. But they kind of went through, had all the different monsters, and in issue #4 was more about the Marvel monsters, where the other ones were more about the Marvel heroes. Like, you got Son of Satan comes in this one. It's a great read. Morbius is in there, and the funny part is like, I believe in Zombies 3, it was Machine Man who saved the day because he was a machine and couldn't turn into a zombie. So he was like the savior of the zombie apocalypse. And then in issue 4, Simon Garth zombie.
Nice.
Which I didn't know he was even a character until I read this series, right? And there is good old Headpool. Simon Garth is carrying Headpool around. He's cracking jokes and stuff. Great read, great story. And they go find Black Talon.
Nice.
In this one. But really, I was hoping this is the one that kind of had more of good old Man-Thing in here. Because they talk about how Man-Thing can't be defeated if he's connected to Mother Earth. So the only way to eat him is to get him disconnected from the ground.
Yeah.
And they talk about how powerful a being he is in this series, good old man thing. And I thought the visual effects team knocked it out of the park with Man Thing. And even though they kind of made it a little goofy.
You know what? You know what the interesting thing is? He was almost completely practical.
Oh, okay, I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was the beautiful thing, was that they took the biggest weakness that a film or TV production can have, which is the budget, and they used it to their advantage with a soundstage shoot and with mostly practical effects. And it was fantastic. I mean, everything technically about it was perfect. I mean, it's a couple story and character things, but it was a fantastic film. Or special presentation.
Yeah, and they certainly did, mocap or something with the facial expressions, but I could definitely see where the rest of the body was practical effects for sure.
MT, I'm going to step back for a second. You got it?
Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Hey, Wolf, hit me up. So you guys let me know what you thought the monsters were. Well, we know Nosferatu or Dracula was absolutely one of them. And when Werewolf by Night says, he's like, well, are any of these monsters on the wall yours? And he says, well, I've tussled with him a few times. And that was obviously, which actually looked like Baron Blood more than anything, but that was supposed to be Dracula, come to find out. And like they made up a whole new cast of characters. There was the guy called Brasso, was a bounty hunter. I don't know where he's from. Somebody can tell me he's ever been in a comic, not that I'm aware of. There was Azrael, not Azrael. Azrael was that androgynous looking, looked like Lady Gaga concert type thing. She didn't talk much at all, maybe. Don't know. The other one was Liorn, Liorn. He was a guy that had the face painted that kind of looked like he was Pacific Asian. He died pretty quick. Jovan, who was the Scottish guy, I have no idea who he was either. I think they just made up these people. But at any rate, one of the absolutely, on the scrolls in the beginning, they show the two-headed thing. They were showing the scroll work with the images on the front, and absolutely they were depicting the two-headed thing. And I've got the first appearance of this. This is the prototype of the thing for Fantastic Four in Strange Tales number 95, a fantastic early Silver Age Kirby monster book. Love this book. I've got 2 copies of this left, but this is one of my all-time favorites because it's got a full-page ad for Fantastic Four number 1 in it. Neat little tidbit there. I guess I'll show that later. So let me flip through some of the monster books that I dug out here, and we'll see if we cannot find the monsters that were hanging on the wall. Blob is, as you all know, one of my favorite. I've got the slab up there that's being covered up by Lilith at the moment. I believe that this might have been one of the monsters featured on the wall and in one of the books. You have to let me know. It's kind of a hairy beast with the face there. Look at that face and kind of look at the way the sketches were. I think that might have been one for sure. Those aren't monster books per se from the monster series, but not little pig-faced horn guy. That's pretty cool. That's kind of a genie thing. Which, speaking of which, I don't want to divulge too much. I got to stay on track. I get off on tangents, as we well know, right? So let's go through a couple of these monsters here, see if we can't find one that might have appeared. I don't believe we saw Serpo. I don't think he was on there. Obviously, we saw the two-headed thing. We just talked about that. Colossus. This is the prototype for the Colossus. Cool character. This one is very cool. This is Magnetor. This is the prototype for Magneto. He's got magnetic powers and he's a monster. Don't think we saw him. Grog, possibly, because there was a horned beastie in there, but I think that he wasn't lizard enough looking. But Grog is one of these very distinguishable faces, like Fing Fang Foom. This is a far too plain looking monster. Don't think we saw him. Bro 2 is getting close because he's been depicted differently. And I believe it's Monsters on the Prowl #1. Garatu. No, Garatu's the ant. Sorry. There's the Colossus again in Monsters on the Prowl. Titan here, for people who don't know who Titan is, he was kind of a Hulk prototype, but then he turned into Zemu, the character Zemu, who then had like a metal helmet that became part of his skull cap, and he had like brain powers. But Zemo is a character they still use to this day. Very cool looking character. So let's see if anybody's got any good guesses on. Also, no guesses on what the monsters were in the movie. Hopefully, you haven't left this video to go like cheat and look on that stuff, right? And you've hung tough with me here. More monster books that I pulled out. Sorry, I am. I think I showed this before. The Pit and the Pendulum. Oh, that's an interesting segue I can kind of make here. I also heard that they're going to make a 1001 Arabian Nights, a Scheherazade production that has ties to the comic book world. I think Scheherazade is an extremely important literary character as far as literary creations of the human race goes. Scheherazade and 1001 Arabian Nights. Very, very poignant and deep storytelling that ripples through to this very day on what we are on how we tell stories. At any rate, Creatures on the Loose turns into Thongor. I don't know if anybody knows this, and it gets into Lumeria. I love Lumeria. I love Atlantis. I love the old alternative archaeology and mythology of the earth. I think there's far too much there for there to be nothing at the root of those things. But there's some really cool monsters. Man Monster Strikes. Thongor was a warrior of lost Lumeria and very much in the sword and sandal thing that I'm big time into. Because the other character that came from Lumeria and Atlantis was Kull the Conqueror. Kull the Conqueror was the king of Atlantis. He was the Tiger King of Atlantis, and then sometimes Lumeria, I believe, for a little bit. Amazing Adventures went into War of the Worlds and Killraven. I believe that's Killraven. But this was all kind of stuff I got in a big, huge collection I bought. Okay, what else do I got to show you here? Okay, this is a great one. Let's talk about this. We got to see Werewolf by Night. We know we're going to get Blade, right? Even though we've heard about some troubles in Paradise as far as the Blade production goes. Jen, one of our panel members on here, who actually went to school with the director who just walked off of that project for creative differences, let's say. So hopefully they can get their act together on that. But I think that this movie by committee thing is frustrating directors and writers that have a singular vision for a project, because Disney likes to do movie by committee, and I think we are seeing how those turn out. So hopefully, which is which is why I really appreciate Werewolf by Night. Somebody had a vision. Somebody had a very creative vision to reproduce a 40s and 50s black and white monster movie. And somebody drove that home, and my God, did it pay off. It really paid off. And I hope we get to see more of that. Allow somebody to take the creative reins on maybe a low budget production and allow them to bring their vision to the screen. Allow us to all enjoy it. We don't have to stick to consistently canon characters or canon stories, kind of like how Joker was a one-off in the DC universe. Hopefully Marvel can get to that at some point. At any rate, this is Man-Wolf, the first appearance of Man-Wolf in his own title. He first appeared in Amazing Spider-Man, but this would be the first appearance of Agent Stroud, who is rumored to be in the Blade movie. At least now, until we get reshoots, who knows if they redo it. But Agent Stroud's first appearance is in here, right? So Man-Wolf is different from Werewolf by Night, but they fought one another frequently. This was a playoff of Car 54, Where Are You, right? The Man-Wolf, the Beast Within. Let's see here. Another great Man-Wolf, Creatures on the Loose. But I finally was able to get 2 high-grade sets of these. He's in space in this one. Kind of interesting. Creatures on the Loose was like all over the place in the stuff they covered. But here he is in space again. At any rate, those are the couple Man-Wolves that I was able to dig out real quick. I'll show this one. This will be a fun one to go over together here. Not quite in the monster genre. Oh, yeah, I forgot about these. I got these from my good buddy Michael Presses. Debating on whether or not I'm going to keep these or not. This was Apocalypse versus Dracula. A very interesting pairing in my mind. And of course, this is the homage, looks like the homage to Bram Stoker's Dracula, in my opinion. But both of these are signed books. Michael got these signed, and I haven't read them. I don't know if anybody read this story, but very interesting premise. I'm kind of looking forward to maybe getting a digital copy and reading those. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here's my Sinbad book. See, I did pull these out for the first appearance here of Sinbad and the 1001 Arabian Nights. And he's kind of fighting a very much looks like Shiva from Indian culture there. But this comes out of that World's Unknown series that I've showed you guys all a couple examples of that. That stuff I'm saving for Halloween. That stuff I'm saving for Halloween. I think we talked about It and Killraven. It was kind of like a gargoyle type character. What else I got to show you here? I've got a bunch of these like indie horror type titles. Evangeline, Chastity. Well, these are kind of pinup books too, I would suppose. This looked like kind of a monster book to me. Don't know anything about this one. Rise, Born Again. Looks like she's coming up against some type of ghouls there. I just happened across those in one of my boxes. Dark Child. Seemed to be kind of Halloween-y. I got another one I'm interested to see if anybody in the chat has any intel on, can give me any backstory on this. I bought this slab a while back. I still don't have any idea what's going on with this story. It's Wolvenheart. Obviously looks like some type of werewolf character. It was a 1 of 50. I'm assuming this is kind of maybe a Kickstarter campaign type book. Has anybody read this? Does anybody think it's any good? Let me know. I'm interested to find out more about it. There's no recorded sales of it anywhere. Oh! This has been a long time popular comic. Simpson Comics and Stories, issue number 1. It comes in a poly bag. I always kind of equated this to the Treehouse of Horrors because I believe this came out around Halloween. At least that's what my memory, if memory serves. There's a poster in this, but there's like a record sale for this every couple months. For whatever reason, this still seems to be a very relevant comic. I'm lucky enough to get one that's in good shape with no spine ticks on it, thankfully, which is tough for this book. Back onto Sword and Sandal. I kind of got rid of a lot of these here the other night, but I picked up a lot of cosplay covers for Red Sonja. I got a deal on a bunch of these. This Meow. I bought up everyone I could find. I think this one's going to sell out, be a hot book. I'm into Jamie Tyndale. He's the one who did the Miss Meow, but I thought that was kind of a striking cover. Hopefully Mrs. Collects doesn't yell at Carlos for me showing those books. Did you guys read Marvel Zombies? Did you like Marvel Zombies? Do you like Edwin Price's favorite character, Son of Satan? Let me know. I never liked Son of Satan growing up. Coming kind of from a more heavily Christian family, I kind of thought that Son of Satan was kind of dumb until I read him in New Warriors, the Secret Warriors book. And I kind of got a newfound respect for Damien Hellspawn. But kind of another cool character to talk about around Halloween. Still collecting scroll books. All right. So all that being said, let's start talking about some of these nightmares that I had, because that's always a popular segment. And I'd show you more monster, more horror, but I got to save some stuff for the rest of October here if I don't end up getting a bunch of new stuff in. Let me say this. I should say this is the opening of every one of my segments. Do not put packing tape on comic book bags. Don't do it. Don't do it. And don't let people get away with it. Say something to who's ever shipping to you. I've kind of moved away from eBay because I'm fed up with it, and buying more person to person or directly from comic book shops. Find that I get a little bit better service, a little bit better shipping. And I will say, Nexon, if you're still on here, Nexon bought a bunch of books from Nexon, and he shipped like a pro. He took my advice to the T on how to ship books, and he did a phenomenal job. I buy these. Can I lay my hands on one without having to get up? I buy these cassette mailers on Amazon. And if you're really interested, I can give you the dimensions. These slide perfectly, snugly into a medium flat rate box. Airspace is the enemy when shipping comics. You're better off to have everything kind of secure, not shifting around, and solid, so there's no crunching. You can fit 2 of these. I can get like almost 14 plus books in one of these. And I can fit one of these in a bubble mailer. So it's a good way to ship. You get them in there nice and snug. What else did I have? I bought a ton of X-Men books here the last couple weeks. But I don't know that we need to go through those. Here's a cool book. I don't know if I went over this before, but this has a military star stamp, a 12-cent military star stamp book, extremely rare, sold on a military base prior to Mark Jeweler inserts or National Diamond inserts. We're always on the hunt for those. The star stamp ones are more rare. and this is before National Diamond or MT. Wolvenheart has gotten a lot of acclaim from fans of Doctor Who, Castlevania, Penny Dreadful, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, if that gives you an idea. Okay, great. Thanks, Mr. Future Batman. That Wolvenheart is based on an organization dedicated to monitoring anomalies of the space-time. Yeah, very much like Doctor Who or Penny Dreadful. Very much so. Hey, you guys are still alive. Yes, we are, Bottom Tier Collector. Yes, we are, sir. A Wolf, I agree with you, MT. Okay, Jin knew that guy. Okay, yeah, right. Sorry, I'm kind of getting caught up on the chat here. Since Carlos left me hanging, I'm kind of just bouncing all over the place right now. Another one, if Michael's on here, another one I've been chasing, because I talked about how my big introduction to Alex Ross was the Golden Age series he did with the Devil and Hydro Man. I've showed those books on this show before, but he actually did covers on a different series called Universe X and Earth X. Was very early Alex Ross stuff, and so I've been trying to pick these up whenever I see them. Some interesting covers on there, and I happened to just get one at the LCS here the other day. Great artwork he does. Great artwork, right? So I bought $300 worth of Silver Age books. I paid $22.95 for shipping. I got 2 bubble mailers taped together, and I opened them up, and this is what I got. No comic book bags, no backer boards, no nothing. Why did I pay $23 in shipping? You know, clearly the label was paid through on eBay, and there's no way that he paid $22 some. But you would think, yeah, you can see both mailers are here. You would think for $22 you could afford to buy a comic book bag and board. Now I'm sending these back because I'm pissed, because they certainly got damaged in transit. It's just like, don't be so careless. And again, let me share my philosophy again on these shipping disasters that I get. I like to reach out personally to the guy that sold or girl that sold them to me, try and educate them and express my disappointment and try and educate them on how to do better, because I don't think just aimlessly spreading more negativity in the world does anybody any good. I'm not out to hurt anybody's business. I'd rather see them do better, and the next person that buys from them has a much better experience. If I can help that along, I will. Plus, they're more likely to give you a refund or work with you on trying to resolve it than if you just go on there and give them a 1-star review and tear them a new one, which is the urge. I get that urge, right? So this one, I've not contacted them to fully discuss my contempt for their shipping practices, because I was going to show it on the show first. So I'll let you know how that works out. Okay, here's another one that really bothered me this week, that I haven't shown on my IG. I got shipped books from a certain well-known YouTube online seller who has a reputation of having a strong personality. I'm really disappointed in what I got. I spent a lot of money on it, and I'll probably never buy there again. But what they did to ship it was like just stuffed all their garbage wrappers from their water bottles and Powerade and shit. I guess that's one way to get rid of your trash, is to like pack comics with it. To me, this is hokey. This doesn't say I'm a professional comic book seller like he likes to claim. Not the impression I get. So it's the little things that go a long way in my book. So those are my shipping disasters. That's pretty much all the books I wanted to show tonight. I'm done. Carlos, back yet? Nope. Okay. All right. Well, anybody got any closing comments, thoughts, or ideas? I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Hey guys, real quick, let me show something, and then I gotta run back down there.
We nitpick the shipping stuff. MT, I got to side with you. You paid way too much money for those books to be shipped that way. Yeah, I mean, I certainly, I'll the first one to admit when I nitpick. Okay, but there are certain things that are blatantly causing damage in shipping, or damage to the comic book bag, or makes it difficult to unpack, that really does not need to happen. It's just like, really, it's this careless in my mind, or things that we just need to educate people about. It's a lot easier. Blue tape, it's not that expensive. Blue tape, you put a tab on there. This is the way I ship mine, okay? If I've got a stack of books like this, grab my zombie books here. If I'm doing a stack, the covers face one another, and you stack them 180 degrees. You rotate so that all the spines are on different sides, so they lay perfectly square, right? And then I put a comic book board on the top and on the bottom. So the tape, I am never putting tape on a comic book bag. Doesn't matter what tape it is, I'm not taping a comic book bag. So I take my stack like this. I've got how many books do you replace boards and bags on? So you've got a whole stack of like yellowed boards, or boards that you've replaced that you're not going to put back in with a new comic book, right? So that's what I use. So then I take my tape, I make a little tab, a pull tab, right? And I put it on there like so. I wrap it around, and then I take a marker and I marker the X so people can find the pull tab. I mean, what's it take? A couple extra seconds? And I think it's really helpful, because you can go overboard. Tons of tape, too much is just as bad as too little sometimes, because you got to like damage the books to get them out. I've had plenty of those too. So there's a fine balance, and I'm more of we show these disasters, but really I'm more about trying to educate people to be better shippers or whatever, so that because I want everybody to succeed. I really do. I don't really take a lot of glee in tearing people down, so that's why I don't give names out of these shippers, because I'm not out to hurt people's business. We're a small community. I want everybody to do well, and if I can help that, I will. Okay.
All
back
right.
to Carlos, because I see he's back.
All right. Hey, I got just a couple things to show off real quick. Apologies for stepping away, MT. The aforementioned.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
All right. Here we go. Let's see. So I've got 3 vintage books here that I was going to show off tonight. This is, Justice League of America number 192. This is part of leading up to the to an origin for Red Tornado. I don't know if you knew or not. I think I've mentioned before to others on the channel, and just while I've been on the channel, that I'm a big Red Tornado fan. I'd recently picked up his first Silver Age appearance as Red Tornado, because he did start life as a different android. This is an 8.5 plus or minus, definitely very conservatively graded. And it does need a press, but this again just falls into line with this era of, it's another George Perez cover, and it falls in line with this era of Justice League of America that I just really, really love. And so, I'll pick these up I've started picking these up from time to time. What's up, Jen? I see the Feature Batman there in the chat. But I'll pick these up from time to time because I really do enjoy the just the art, the story, the roster. I feel was one of the best, if not the best, that the Justice League ever had, because they didn't just have the big 7. They also had a bunch of supporting cool characters like Firestorm, one of my favorites, and Red Tornado, one of my favorites. It was the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. It was the Barry Allen Flash. I think right around this time. So yeah, so basically, yep, DC Comics Vision is basically what he was. But I just really love the design of the character and have always loved it. So and I just love that he got to be part of the Justice League during this time period. Now the second one that I picked up. So this was one that was kind of like one of those opportunity pickups, and I had made the arrangement to purchase this book and had paid it down over a short period of time. This is Marvel Premiere number 28, the first appearance of the Legion of Monsters. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen this copy. I put this about a 6.5 plus or minus. This is before a clean or press, so I can definitely see some areas where it could be cleaned and pressed, and could really, could definitely benefit from that, and definitely see a grade bump. So this book, I've always been fascinated by the Marvel stable of horror characters, specifically Werewolf by Night, Man-Thing, Dracula. Frankenstein, not really, because I just really wasn't familiar with him. But those guys those three were kind of my favorites when it came to the Marvel 70s into 80s horror stars. So this book, Morbius is cool, and I do think Ghost Rider is a really cool addition. But just this idea of the monsters, a legion of monsters. I've always liked the team up of monsters, like in the Monster Squad from the 80s, that feature film, others. So I just really thought this was a cool book. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. I don't have the available cash for it right now, but I was able to work out a payment plan with a local comic shop, and did get this book. Now, the pricing was locked in before the trailer showcased Man-Thing. So, so I don't know that this book is really going to see much of a bump, though I could see there being people that value it, because I definitely think there's a future for a team up of monsters, but I don't know if they'll be called the Legion of Monsters. It's probably not going to be this lineup here, even though 50% of the lineup was in the Werewolf by Night special presentation. But I just wanted to own a copy of the book. I think it's a fantastic book. I definitely think it's a good one to have. It is a solid key book. And so I went ahead and I did go ahead and pick it up. But even though it was not on my collecting goals for this year. Speaking of collecting goals, though, the biggest book that I've picked up in at least a couple months, or at least a few months. So if you follow me on Instagram, you see the graphics that I do to showcase my collecting goals for the year. And one of those collecting goals was to pick up a copy of Strange Adventures number 205, which is the first appearance and origin of Deadman, or Boston Brand, as his human name is. So I got a copy. I'm putting this at definitely about I think when it came in, I think I was putting it like a 3.5, give or take. It definitely has a lot of wear. It does have some moisture staining on it that I think can come out and could definitely benefit from a good clean and press and some additional TLC. But this is a good solid copy. Staples a tad loose, but it is complete, and the staplers are holding. It was holding enough for me to read it. And so I'm excited to have this, to mark this one off the list. So now I'm down to just 5 books, and they are all 3 out of the 5 are I think might be attainable by the end of the year, but 2 of them are pretty pricey. So, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am excited about having it. This has been in line with me picking up quite a few DC keys and seeing just what comes of that, because I've been a DC fan for a long time. Marvel's a more recent addition. I've come to appreciate a lot of those books, outside of like stuff like some horror books and certain characters here and there. But I'm real excited to have those and add them to the collection. And so I think that's going to bring my time to a close. Also, I need to shout him out. So the seller, I had posted about my books, my like collecting list the last time I updated it with, I think, the premiere 32 or no 20 no 32, which the first appearance of Spider-Woman and the first appearance of Deathstroke. When I showcased those, I posted a list, and I had a couple people contact me, and one of them had a copy of Strange Adventures, this copy, and he offered to, I told him, I said, man, look, I'm kind of wiped out. I don't have the available cash right now for this. And he said, hey, I'm going to sell this book. I'd rather sell it to you. He gave me a better deal than eBay, and he did put me on a payment plan for it as well. So this was, so this was a cool one to have. And I do need to shout him out. He's Midlife Comics Crisis on Instagram, with each word separated, I think, by an underscore, I think is what it is.
Yeah, I'm subbed to his channel. That's right.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, he's at midlife_comic_crisis on Instagram. Make sure and hit him up. He's got a lot of cool books, and real cool guy to do business with, and I enjoyed it. So so shout out to him on this Strange Adventures. So yeah, like I was saying, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I think MT, you were done with your portion, correct?
Yeah, I am. I'm done. I gotta save some stuff. I've got some other monster horror books that I'll continue to show as we creep closer towards Halloween. I've got a bunch of really big time key books in that genre. But again, we'd love to hear what you guys are collecting, what you guys are picking up. If there's any new titles out there you think I should be reading, I would be very much interested to finding a Marvel title worth reading. This is printing nowadays, if there is one. Such a thing exists. Please like and subscribe, anybody who's with us. Can't do it without you. Appreciate you guys participating and chatting it up here with us. Come back to see us again. Wednesday? You got a show Wednesday, right?
Yep. We're going to have, speaking of, we're going to have the giveaway show coming up on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Central. Paul's going to be running that one with Edwin Price. I'll have an event that night, so I won't be able to be there. But hey, y'all make sure and tune in and check it out. Also, just a couple quick reminders. October the 26th, that Wednesday night, that's an episode of the giveaway show. We're going to be doing our 1,000 subscriber milestone giveaway. Lots of different giveaways. Look, MT is showing what he might give away for that night, or that.
I might give this away.
That would be really cool. That would be really cool. In addition, though, keep in mind that on Monday, October 31st, we're going to do our special Order 66 episode of Monday Halls Live. We're going to try to have extra people on, show off some fun cream of the crop horror books and Star Wars books, and we're going to try, if we can, to get the elusive General Jedi to be on, but we'll see how that goes. We'll see if we can get him on. But yeah, that looks to be a fun night, and we'll see if we can get everybody dressed up in costume as well for that special Halloween episode. There you go, MT. We've done it before. Last Halloween for the
I remember.
For the Friday feature, I dressed up. I did dress up.
Spandex suit on, as I recall.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a pretty muscular one, but yeah, no, the Halloween dress up panel. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Where were you? What did you dress up as? You had a spandex.
It was Mr. Invincible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I remember Beta Ray was Hulk Hogan, and
well, that was on the Sunday night, the auction show, but then the Friday night I dressed up. But then I think basically the whole weekend everybody was dressing up on all the shows.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if I'll find something new besides Mr. Incredible. I may try to get one more Halloween out of him. So, but we'll see. So, all right, guys. Hey, y'all, thanks for joining in tonight. It means the world to us that you did. Make sure and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's the best way to keep up with all the different content that we've got going on. In addition to Monday Hauls on Monday, in addition to the giveaway show on Wednesday and Friday features on Friday, also on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, we have brand new polls that drop under the community tab here on the YouTube channel with all kinds of different fun stuff. So you can connect with us that way. Also, you can find me now on TikTok at Carl's Collects Comics. That's right. I don't know if I have any business being there, but I'm doing my best to do little super mini spotlights on TikTok spotlight.
I thought that was for teenage girls who do dancing.
Apparently,
Cat.
Not quite, not just.
I'm teasing.
There's other comic book people on there, and my wife is on there, and I mean she's just tickled pink that
Pickled pink.
Excited. She's just she thinks it's really funny that I'm on TikTok, and I'm just seeing how I don't know. I've got some followers now, and so the one thing you can be guaranteed to never see me do on TikTok is a TikTok dance. That is guaranteed. You might see MT do one, but not me.
Yep.
All right. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for being here. We're glad that you're here. Dirty old man, too. Mr. Incredible. Yeah, it was Mr. Incredible. All right, guys. Hey, y'all have a great night. Thanks for being here and for tuning in. It's been a joy to hang out with you as always. Make sure and hit that like button. Leave a comment after the stream has ended. And make sure and subscribe if you haven't already. Again, always fun to be with y'all. And we will see y'all next time. This is Carlos and MT signing off.
Thanks, guys. Come back, see us.